I'm paying attention and Brandie's not.
I'm making a note. Well, I want to talk about it a minute.
Hi, I'm Debbie.
I'm Brandie. Welcome to Knits and Giggles podcast, episode 2.
Episode 2. Thanks for watching episode 1, all you people. We have over 100 views. Maybe it's all the same person, but that's okay.
You? Was it you?
It wasn't me.
I watched once.
Only one and then tidbits. Every time I opened YouTube, it was on.
We've actually had some amazing feedback from our friends, so maybe they're biased, but they said it was great, so I'll take it.
Thanks, friends. So we have lots to talk about this week. I have a whole list of things. First up,
what we're wearing.
What are we wearing? Yeah.
I am wearing my Cozy Classic Raglan by Jessie Knits, and the yarn is, both colors are from Crux Fibres, Brandie. Foxtail is the main color, and then it is held with yak fluff in Rusty Bucket.
It's very pretty. I love the blue flecks in the Surrey. The yak fluff.
In the yak fluff, yeah.
You can see it more in the chest, I think.
I think it's not really showing up on the camera, but I'm not gonna boob them, so.
No, that'd be weird.
So weird. What are you wearing?
I'm wearing my LoveNote. It was a labor of love, this LoveNote. I started it. It was my very first sweater ever made. And I got stuck doing the short rows on the back shaping, like at the bottom. And then like a year later, brought it to a retreat. And somebody helped me with the short rows because I had no idea what I was doing. So this was like a few years ago now that I finally finished it. So for some reason, I think even last podcast I said that I thought it was too big and I was going to rip it out. I lied because it's not too big. It's actually really good. And I did the sleeves halfway and I really like how it fits. So here it is. It's made in, the pattern is TinCanKnits. It's DK weight, 16 stitch gauge. So it's actually really quick. And the lace is not that difficult. It kind of looks like it could be, but it's just a few repeats of the same thing. And the yarn I used is WoolBaron Crushed Rosette.
That's pretty.
And it's a merino cashmere nylon. So it's very soft. And it has
really nice drape.
It does. It turned out nice. It's getting a little pilly. I have to use my gleaner and get rid of the fuzz. But I looked up this pattern last night on Ravelry, and there's over 13,000 projects.
Wow. So
think of all the people that don't do the project thing on Ravelry. And I don't really either. I don't have a project for this up there. But there's 13,000 projects. So that's a lot of...
That's a lot.
That's a lot of pattern sales, and that's a lot of knitting of this pattern.
Well, I was just telling you too, when I wasn't knitting yet when the LoveNote came out, maybe I was just starting to knit, but I recognized it when I was at my local library. The librarian was wearing it, and right away I was like, oh, is that a LoveNote? So,
popular. Yeah, I like it. I would knit one again. It was very, very easy. I know I think you can change the yarn weight on this one, because I know people that have knit it in like fingering weight, and it's very breezy.
Yeah.
Holy.
So I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say Ranunculus or LoveNote was easier, or like what would you recommend?
That's actually hard. I think the Ranunculus I think is probably easier. But they're very similar construction. You can change the yarn weights on both of them. Mm-hmm. The gauge is similar. And I made the Ranunculus recently, so my knitting skills are better.
Okay.
Than when I started this and needed help with the short rows. I don't need help with that anymore. So it just like flew off my needles. But if I made this again, it would fly off my needles.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
I don't know. I think it was a pretty good first sweater project.
Yeah, you did great.
Yeah. Whips.
Ooh. Okay, so I have one today. It's all on needles here. So this is my Brooklyn by Tori Knits NYC, I think is her Instagram. And I've been knitting on this for a long time. I was actually hoping to wear this to Knit City. But long story short, I was going to make it cropped and wear it over a dress. And then when I was just going to take it off the needles, and I did that, and then I blocked it, but I wanted to put it all back on the needles and make it into a regular sweater. And once I blocked it, it looked not great. So I decided to leave it at home and not wear it to Knit City. But now it's back on my needles, and I am doing the ribbing for the bottom. So it's curved hem, which was the first time that I've done that. So I figured that out, which is actually easy. It's double stitches.
So is it split and then curved?
It's not. Well, yes, it's split, and then you do the front and then the back, yes. So awesome. It is split, and then you pick it all back up or keep knitting for the ribbing. So I guess that's why I said no at first to split hem, because normally you do the ribbing on each, right? So it does like kind of curve with the ribbing. It stays together all in one set of needles.
I see.
You can see it, like mooning there. Yeah, and then I've already picked up my one sleeve, so I can start knitting on it tonight. I'm really excited about that. And this yarn is from Fibre Goddess, and it's silk, merino, maybe cashmere, but feel it.
It's so light. It's fingering weight, yes?
Yes.
And it's got silver stellina.
It does.
Can you see that? Yeah, there you go. You can see it.
I think I'm really going to love wearing this. I can't wait to get it done because, yeah. And I think I'm going to do long sleeves. The pattern has directions for short or long sleeves. I thought about doing short, but with our winters, I think I'm going to do a long sleeve.
I like the texture on the sleeves.
Me too.
It's nice. Any other whips?
No. I mean, kind of. Like, I mean, it's not on needles, but I did wind my framed sweater yarn. So that's as far as this is a whip, right? It's a work in progress. I have it's
caked.
It's caked. I've got caked yarn, and I was gonna try and get it on needles before you got here, but I failed. So yeah, that's that.
That's okay. My whips. I have my Thistle Thorn pullover still. It will be, well, it's supposed to be done by November 8th. I don't know. I'm feeling like it might not be. Though I am testing for the short sleeves, so at least there's that. I won't have to do sleeves on it once I get, but I'm not far, guys. Like,
have you done any since we had coffee last week?
Yeah, I have.
Oh wow, it looks like the same as in that picture.
I know.
What did you do?
Very minimal. I've done very minimal since last week, but I don't know. It's very slow for me. This fancy stitch that's used, this Thistle stitch, whatever. Well, I don't even think it's called that. I can't remember what the stitch is actually called, but that's as far as I've gotten on the body. I'm hoping I'll have it done.
So you have a month.
I have a month.
Ooh, yeah.
It might be tight. I need to stop procrastinating.
Oh yeah.
On other things.
Debbie is such a procrastinator. Just you wait. She's gonna pull out all these finished objects that she did in the last week.
So, but well, that's not okay. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
My other whip. My other whip. Oh yes, my other whip is this chicken.
Oh, it's not done. I thought it was done.
No.
Oh my god, it's so cute.
So I ran out of stuffing.
Oh.
So I have to finish stuffing it, and then I can sew up its butt. This is the emotional support chicken. I have made a few now. Let's see. I have notes on this. Where? There. It's by, the pattern is Annette Corsino, and she's from the Knitting Tree L.A. So again, if you go on Ravelry, there's over 7,000 finished projects for the emotional support chicken. Obviously, there's way more out there that have not been put on Ravelry. And the Knitting Tree L.A. sells kits. So you can just get the pattern, and there's now a crochet pattern too, so you don't have to knit it. You can crochet this chicken. Looks very similar, the crochet version.
And it's such a scrappy project.
Yes. So you can buy the kit from them if you want, and they all have like fun celebrity like names that are a twist on chicken names. I can't even think of one off the top of my head, but there's like an Elton John one, and
look this up.
Yeah, but I just use scrap yarn, and it's supposed to be worsted weight. So some of them I've had to hold double, and some just single to kind of scrap it together. They also now have accessories for the chicken that you can buy.
Like a little bonnet?
A beret. and a capelet. And you can now also get the wings, a wing add-on pattern, and legs.
Oh, cute.
So there's on Ravelry you can get, they look kind of like I-cords. They're like long dangly legs with feet that you could put on your chicken if you wanted to. This one will not have that because this one's for my niece for her birthday. And she might rip the legs off or something because she's turning 6. But I am going to make it, I was going to make it the capelet, but then I decided she might like a hoodie. So I'm going to...
You're making a chicken hoodie?
I'm going to create my own chicken hoodie. Obviously, it doesn't need arms, but it will have a hood. So...
I love it.
Yes.
I can't wait to see that.
Once I finish it. But I brought a finished one so you can see a finished one. So here's one with its butt sewed up. This is mine. Her name is Henny Penny. Also scrappy. And Henny Penny at home at my house has a partner, and he's got a bigger comb and a bigger waddle. But there we go. Yeah. And then I think those are all my whips. I also frogged 2 projects yesterday.
What?
I ripped out my Tolsta tee.
Why? You were almost finished it.
Because
I'm confused. You couldn't find the yarn?
I couldn't find the yarn.
No.
I was going to be short on a yarn that I was using, and I didn't want to add in a 3rd color.
Oh.
And I was like thinking this might end up a little too big again. I have this problem. I need to start doing swatches. But I keep knitting things too big. So I ripped out the Tolsta tee yesterday. And then I also ripped out my hipster because... Again. Well, because I was going,
because you're going to change the yarn.
Taking the yarn for that for something else, and also for the hipster, I was starting to use a 3rd color, and it was too big, and
so you need to swatch, and you need to make sure you have enough yarn.
I know, the same story every time. So I ripped out 2 things, which was such a pain, especially the hipster. Do I have a picture of that? Stripes. No. Well, I did both I did stripes on both of those projects. Mm-hmm. Do I have a picture of what the hipster looks like?
Oh, I do.
I saved one somewhere.
I might even have me wearing it.
Oh, here.
Got it?
Yeah. Because this was my screenshot. Oh. So the hipster is a Hohi Locatelli pattern, and it's in fingering weight. Super cute, boxy, V-neck. The shoulder detail is amazing. However, ripping out the shoulder detail sucks because of those stitches that you have the big loops and you cross them over, and it just created a bunch of knots. I basically, when I got to those points, if I couldn't rip it out, I just cut it and had to throw away that yarn because it was creating
a mess. The hipster, I have made it, and it's probably my favorite thing that I've made.
I
love it.
I really like it. I just need to do it again with the right amount of yarn in the right size and not have to rip it out.
Yes.
More than one time. So, yes. That was my whips and my frogs.
Okay.
Yes. What's hot?
Well, I have some patterns, but first, can I share what yarn I bought?
Sure.
Because that's next on my list.
Okay.
Even though we have the same list.
Well, our lists are different orders, but that's totally cool.
But I sent you my list.
I know. There we go.
I'm neurotic, so before we did our first podcast, I literally made a note on my phone with all the things that I want to talk about, and then Debbie messaged me the night before and was like, can you send me that list so I can also talk about those things? Okay, so nobody's even going to be surprised about this. I bought more Spincycle.
Oh yeah, I forgot. That's where this is from. I was like, wait a second.
What do you mean? Yes, okay, so I bought 4 skeins, which is insane, but on Labor Day, which was the first weekend of September, they had a sale. I woke up and I grabbed my phone to see what time it was, and I went onto Instagram, and the first thing I saw was that there was a Labor Day sale on Spincycle. And so the last time that they had a sale, I set an alarm to my yarn, but I didn't account for the time change. And by the time my alarm went off at 6 o'clock in the morning here, everything was sold out.
So it goes so fast.
So fast.
Because I did log in for the sale too, not first thing. But when I did, there were a handful of colors left.
Yes. And
none of the ones that I actually would like. So.
I knew I wanted dyed in the wool. Because it is sport. Yeah. And that's what I've been using the most of. So I knew if I wanted anything, it would be dyed in the wool. And there was like 3 colors left. This was one of them. And I actually hesitated a little bit before I bought it because I was like, ooh, it's pretty wild. But I feel like Spincycle is one of those ones that you can have wild colors and then it kind of gets balanced out. Oh, that focus is much better this time.
I don't know if I have that setting on or off.
Oh, okay.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah, so I got 4 skeins, and I am going to tell you that it was 30% off, but we're Canadian. And so shipping was atrocious. Not any fault of their own. It's just the way Canada is. Shipping is terrible inside Canada and to Canada. So I was still like, nope, I'm up. It's okay. This is a great savings. And then I got an email saying I got hit with customs. And of course, customs is on the actual value. So the actual value of my yarn was over $150. So they charged me customs. And whew, there went my savings. So I basically paid full price for these 4 skeins. But I don't care. It's beautiful, and I might, if I do make the Thistle Thorn sweater, I might use this. I don't know yet.
You'll have lots left over. Like,
yeah,
like the way that this stretches, I feel like I don't mean like physically stretches, but like
yes, because
you can make like 3 projects with this.
Yes, because I had 4 skeins and I've made 2 sweaters and I still have leftovers. So yeah, or I might make another tessellated cardigan instead of I have the sweater that's almost done. But yeah, so that was my purchases dyed in the wool. I'm very excited about it. Oh, and the colorway is called Truth Bomb, which I think they must be discontinuing because I think that's part of the thing about the sale was that it was discontinued colors. But yeah, so yeah, I got 4 skeins of it and I feel pretty accomplished about that even though I paid full price. That's that.
That's okay.
Yeah, you can talk about whatever you want.
I won't talk about my yarn acquirements yet.
Okay.
I'll talk about the Hey Sailor first because last podcast we talked about how it was being released the next day.
Yes.
And it was released, and now I have my yarn for it. I've picked out my yarn.
Excited.
And there's that, what's it called? The Insta Friends Cow that's happening between Andrea Mowry and Shop Limerick.
And I just watched the podcast last night and I have something to tell Debbie.
Okay. Do you want me to show my yarn first?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Where is it?
While you do that, I'm going to bring it up.
Yeah. Bring up the picture. It's great. So, I had used this yarn in my hipster. This is Life in the Long Grass. It's a sock merino nylon. It's the color wheat, and it's got like speckles of green and orange and stuff in it. I don't know what color you would call this. I guess wheat, but it's like a taupey.
Taupey. It's more taupey.
Color, yeah. So I had used this in my hipster, but now since I've ripped my hipster out, I am now going to use it. Obviously not this. This one was not in my hipster because it's nicely skeined still. But I have 2 skeins of this. So this is going to be part of my sailor. And then I was trying to hum and haw about what I should use for my main color for this project. And I waffled between like a black or a rust color or whatever. But then I was looking for green. And our friend dyed this green for me. It's beautiful and tonal and perfect. So I had reached out to her. She owns Masquistitch Yarns. Her name is Verna. Here's her little tag. I'd reached out to her and asked her if she had any green that I could use that would go with this yarn. And she did not. And so I said, that's okay. Don't worry. I will look for some. And in the few days that I was looking but not really looking, it was in my mind but not, she then messages me and goes, I dyed the yarn. So she sent me pictures of the yarn and it's great. So those are my 2 main colors for my Hey Sailor.
So this is the Hey Sailor and it is reversible. So the back in this photo has buttons all the way down the back, and it is functional buttons, and then you can wear it in the front as a cardigan.
It's so cute, and I like that it's like this, but I will be hacking mine to probably not have buttons. I think I'm going to have that closed up and just make it like a pullover.
So here's what I have to tell you. I listened to the podcast, and lots of people, you can still do that, but lots of people are asking Andrew Mowry if they could make it in the round as just like a pullover.
Yes.
And skip the button band. And she does not advise it because of the way the stitches pull in the round. It creates, she said that she doesn't like the fabric. So that, it was actually supposed to be a pullover. And then she went back to the drawing board. So I think if you did it flat and kept the button band and just didn't put buttons, you should be okay.
That's my plan.
That's your plan. But
to seam it together.
Yeah. So just in case you were thinking later on that, ooh, actually I'll just skip the button band altogether. She did highly recommend against it.
Not doing that.
Yeah. She said she couldn't recommend it. So yeah.
Because
I was going to do that. Possibly. But then also, when I watched her podcast, she was wearing it with the buttons to the front. I think I'm going to do it with the buttons and be functional. I think I'm I changed my yarn colors.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also have a third yarn color for this sweater. So I only have 2 of each of these. And on the top of that sweater has the 3 needle bind off down the top. I'm going to use this color, which I think is flock fiber. I could not find the ball band after I ripped this out of my hipster. But I'm going to do this color down the shoulder. And then the body will be these.
Oh, I can't wait to see that.
It will be very fall colors. I like it. And one day I'll cast it on when I've gotten further on the test knit that I'm doing. Yeah, so if you want to join that Cal, the Insta Friends Cal, you can just go to Andrew Mowry's, which is Drea Renee Knits on Instagram, or Shop La Mercerie also has the information there, and it runs now to
January.
Yeah, in January, I think.
Yeah, and it's just a hashtag. It's really easy to do the Cal because you just use the hashtag on your photos, and yeah.
Yeah, I like those kind of Cals instead of the ones where you have to go into Ravelry and stuff because that's just more work.
It's a lot of steps, right?
Too much for me. I'm lazy that way. And then the other what's hot thing, the Sorella tonals. Have you looked at the Sorella tonals?
I haven't, but she just announced the Rhinebeck, but that's not what you're talking about.
No, they just released
they
all their
autumn tonals.
Yes, they just released the autumn tonals a few weeks ago.
How did I miss that?
And they're not one of the pre-orders like her collections.
Yes.
You can just order them and then they restock them every week. But the colors are really nice. So go look at the Sorella tonals if you have a chance. Mm-hmm. They're also in the States, so for us in Canada, we have to pay more.
Yeah,
for customs, but that's okay.
And our dollar is kind of...
Our dollar sucks, but you know, they're still pretty and worth it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's hot? I've got some patterns. Have you guys seen the new Ho-He maple sweater? Of course, now this is not working. Hold up. I had this as all links, and now they're not links.
They're not links.
Well, they were clickable. Let's see if
I learned about that sweater from somebody at a knit afternoon, but I had never seen it because it was only like sneak peeks that she had shown, and now it's released. But I don't really watch Only Murders in the Building. Is that what it's called?
Yes, I've seen it.
I've watched like the first season. I should watch more because I really love all those actors. They're hilarious.
Yes.
But anyways, it's based off of that character, right?
Yes. And so the detail isn't really good here, but it looks like it would be, help me out here, what's that style of knitting called? Like brioche, but it's not. It's faux brioche. Yeah. Brioche looking, but it isn't brioche. Which is, if you're intimidated by that, then I purchased the pattern. And I have an extensive amount of sweaters. I didn't realize how many I had in my library. Like, it's ridiculous. But yes, I purchased it because I really want to make it. I don't know when, probably in 2027. But obviously I don't want to give away any of the details of the sweater. But if you look in the Mabel's, the notes or whatever, it does say that this is not brioche. Don't worry. So, yeah. I even love that color.
Yes. That is your color.
It is.
That color doesn't look good on me. I've tried at the store.
I don't know if I would
look so
do
great.
that bright of a yellow, but yeah, like a mustardy.
It's pretty.
Yes. Oh, and also the Polly cardigan by Amy Christoffers. I feel like that's kind of hot in the knitting world. I said at Prairie Fiber Fest, I told a bunch of friends that I think I want to make that pattern, but I want to see it in person first.
That's the one that I think I want to knit for my daughter.
Yeah.
Can you show it?
Yeah, I'm on it.
Oh, I'm not connected to the internet. That's why I can't bring up my,
Oh.
my Ravelry.
Okay, so it's there. And it kind of looks waffly in texture. I should close it there. But yes, I would probably use Spincycle for this one as well. And I would like to see it knit up. So I'm hoping that maybe someone at our knit night or something is making it. Maybe. Or maybe a little yarn shop. Maybe Fibre Nook or somebody will have it on display. That would be nice.
So I have patterns to talk about, but since I can't bring them up, you get to be my pattern person.
I would love to. Just call me Vanna.
Okay. So the first one is called the Saki Clog Socks. So Saki. Go.
I'm on it. Wow.
Saki.
Got it. Saki Club Socks?
Clog.
Clog. I'm sorry. Are you wearing this for sushi?
What?
Yeah, sake. It's like, isn't that the like rice wine?
Yes. I don't know why it's called this.
Ooh. It's exactly what you think it is. Clog socks, guys.
I know. Look at them. So I like the first picture.
I'm gonna
just
bring
the
it
back. The back was peeking out from these clogs. They're so cute, but they're knit in a worsted. The pattern's by Nell Knits, and these ones are a worsted weight. She also has ones that are a fingering weight, like normal. But I was like, I'm not a sock knitter.
Someone put
I'm
bike
impatient.
on them. Look how cute that is.
They're cute. And I like that they're thicker because I would wear these in my Crocs or like my Birkenstocks or something. I know I'm cool. So
You gotta be warm.
we're getting into the cold weather and today I'm wearing socks and yeah, so then I thought those were cute. Go knit them, Nell Knits. The next one is the weekend jacket.
Ooh.
We both had that. That's the one that you sent me on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
But I had also posted it.
Oh, yes. I love that.
Chunky thing.
I want that so bad. It's in We Are Knitters.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
Petite wool, maybe?
It is petite wool. No.
Not petite wool, maybe.
Mini Me Knit Design.
No, sorry, I meant.
You mean the wool.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one's the weekend jacket.
Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
I love that one. It's so funny because you post on Instagram, but literally the day before, I almost sent it to Debbie, but I'm like, okay, stop spamming her with patterns. Like, we have enough in our library. Stop being that person. But, and then she posted it, and I was like, I was going to send this to you.
But, like, it's jumbo yarn.
Yes.
And, like, look at the...
She did say you can knit it in a weekend.
Yeah,
and look at the buttons.
And it's that has 4 buttons. Those buttons are like 1.5 inch buttons. They're giant.
I feel like it would be like a kind of jacket.
Yes. What yarn would you use?
So that's the wool by We Are Knitters is the one that she used. It's literally called the wool.
The wool.
Yes. I know you're okay. Be like, what? Yeah, I know it's wool. We Are Knitters, the wool.
Okay.
I'm gonna see when I link to it. Yes, it's very common.
I wonder how
a lot
many
of little yarn
skeins
shops. Okay, well, let's see if I can find
like quite a few probably. Or maybe you can just hold like a bulky double or something to get the jumbo size.
If you're doing bracelet length, you're looking at between 335 yards if you're the smallest size, or 605 yards. And so from 4 to 7 balls.
Okay.
Because they're 200-gram balls.
Okay.
I think, don't quote me on this, I think that they're around the $19 range. I think.
That's not horrible. I'm sure you could also, if you wanted something more affordable, or if you're knitting this as a quick gift knit for a child, for example, I might just go to Michael's and find
Line brand. You could totally use line brand.
Yeah. And then my other pattern is the Weekend Slipover V-neck.
Ooh. Sounds cozy. I'm on it.
Mm-hmm. This one's also bulky yarn. And it's somewhat vest-like. Because those vests are in right
The
now. Weekend Slipover V-neck.
V-neck. Is that it?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, it's by Petite Knit.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Ooh, it's cute.
So, in the different pictures and people's projects, they showed over like long sleeves or short sleeves, or just by itself even, I guess, depending how big you knit it. If you want it oversized, you have to be careful, I guess, with the armholes maybe being too drapey. But I thought with the bulky weight of this, my daughter would totally wear this. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to think of, it's October. I'm trying to think of some things to knit for Christmas this year that are outside of hats and stuff. Only for the gift knit-worthy family, like my daughter and maybe my brother-in-law, my niece, those kind of people. Not my husband. He doesn't wear the knits. So I don't know, if I could find something that is fast enough that I could knit in a weekend, that is not like my test knit that's taking me months. I need something fast. So that kind of thing looked good.
I could see your daughter wearing that too.
Yes. Yeah. So those are my patterns. If we go to FOs.
Ooh, yeah, okay. Well, I'm lame. Socks. Little shorties. The pattern is this Sonder Socks by Sonder Yarn. It's a free pattern, and to be honest with you, once I started making socks, I memorized that pattern, so now that's pretty much all my basic socks are that pattern, because I've memorized it, so I know stitch count for both my size and my husband's size, and that's who I make socks for. So, but this yarn is Rose Hill, and they're like, I don't usually make mine this short, but I have one other pair of super shorties that I like wearing in the summer, and I've already darned them once, so I think they're on their way out, so I figured I'd make myself another pair.
If I knit socks, I only knit shorties. I usually use the Rose City Roller pattern.
Yes, I've made that pattern. I guess mine are all shorties too, but usually my ribbing is a little bit longer, like it goes a little taller, but I don't wear long socks, so I don't make long socks.
That's the beauty of knitting.
Yeah.
Make them how you want them.
That's right.
Hack all the things. My FOs are, well, behind my iPad.
Debbie's an overachiever.
I made pumpkins.
Instead of working on her test knit, she made FOs for our podcast.
Yeah. Well, and because I just wanted them. But these were fast FOs, so I could have something to show.
Cute.
So these are where are my Harvest Hug pumpkins. They are by Audacious Ewe on Instagram. Her name is Carisha on Ravelry as well, but Audacious Ewe on Ravelry. This pattern's amazing. It comes, like, you get the Harvest Hug pumpkins, but then it also comes with, like, cup cozy patterns. All the little leaves also are written in, and, like, the stem, or this like, stem spirally thing. It comes with, like, 10 patterns in one.
Oh, cool.
So you buy the Harvest Hug and you get all these things, and then you can make the pumpkins. You know, these are knit in bulky yarn. I had like some Lion brand and stuff at home that's bulky. And I just kind of threw some colors together and made my little pumpkins, and they're so cute. And in her pattern too, you don't have to put the embellishments on all of them. She has a picture. I won't bring it up, but I have them here. Basically, she has a picture where she has them stacked, and then she threads all the way through and has like leaves at the very top.
Oh.
So they're a little stacked, and you can make them, different sizes. So
that's cute.
One's bigger, and mix and match. Was it this one? So this one, I used her basic construction of the pumpkin, but I did this one in mosaic, which isn't in her patterns, but it was easy for me to just hack it and do a different kind of pattern on it. Yeah.
Cool.
So there's my Harvest Hug pumpkins. They will be on my table at Thanksgiving, and then I'll do something else with them. I don't know. Put them in my office with all my other things. And then my other FO is also super fast and bulky. This is the Seafarers Cap by 2 of Wands. So, 2 of Wands last week released, it was released before, but the Hue Me yarn came to Canada to Michael's. So, the colors are great. This color is the Fatigues color, so it's the greenish color. My daughter's like, it's gray, and I'm like, it's green.
It's green gray.
Yeah, it depends on the lighting. Like in our house, it's like very gray, and then in the store it was super green. So this is the yarn band, Hue Me, 2 of Wands, and I went and picked up a ball, and they're about $10 Canadian per ball, and then I made this hat. So it's very long. I knit it to pattern, but it's supposed to be that way. Here, I'll put it on. It's supposed to be that way to create the nipple top look.
It's very hipstery.
Very
it looks
hipstery.
cute on you, though, actually.
My daughter put it on, and I don't know why, her hat is like up here, and she's like, Mom, my head is not shaped like an eggplant. And like, she'd put all her hair inside of it, and it was like sticking straight off the back of her head.
She'd be like a troll.
Like that. But I'm like, pull it down further. If you're out in the winter, your forehead and ears need to stay warm. Why is it on the top of your head?
Teenagers don't care about their ears staying warm.
And then I pull it on, and she's like, okay, but now you have no eyebrows. But I think it's better to have warm eyebrows than a frozen forehead. So that's just my thought.
Welcome to the over 40 club, where we want to be warm.
I like warmth. Though technically I'm.
But you
I don't know.
roll it up, right?
I think I'm like perimenopausal because I'm always hot. But yeah, you can fold it.
Yeah, that's cute.
And then you don't have to have eggplant head. So.
Well, it's versatile at least.
I knit this in like a couple episodes of Gilmore Girls. So
nice.
It was very fast. I think it's on US 9 or 10 needles. It's chunky and big.
Cute.
So it does say if you want to knit it shorter, just knit it shorter. You don't have to knit it to pattern and make it super long. But I kind of like it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like that.
I love. It's a lot of ribbing, right? It's super stretchy and it just feels dense. I like that. So I would knit more of these, maybe as gifts and in a shorter version, because I don't know if people want long hats or not. Nipple hats.
Nipple head.
Eggplant hats. I think that's all for my FOs. Yes.
All right.
My wish list. You don't have wish list today.
No, I don't. No.
But my wish list today is the Overlander Retreat.
Oh, you're going big. I want to go to the Overlander Retreat too.
So
it's in May. It just got announced.
It's got announced yesterday, and you can now register to attend. It's in May 1st to 4th. I have details.
To Banff.
It is, yes, it's in Banff, Alberta. So we're in Alberta, Canada, in case we never said that.
We did last week.
Okay. So, no, it's not in Banff. It's in Jasper.
It's in Jasper.
Sorry.
Is it? Oh, yes.
And it's about 30 minutes or 30 miles, something, outside of Jasper. So it's not right in the Jasper town site. Mm-hmm. It's set away, so it's a little more mountain-esque and quiet and, rustic that way. But it includes all the meals, and you go 3 nights, 2 full days, and then there's classes and a marketplace, and there's yoga, and then there's free time, and there's games, and like the itinerary looks amazing. Mm-hmm. And it's hosted by Hippie Strings in Grand Prairie, Alberta. So they've been doing this now for years.
Yeah.
And every time I see it, I'm like, they look like they have so much fun. And it was just announced. And if you think you might want to go, I think that the way they've done the payment schedule makes it way more affordable because they have a deposit now that's not even due till the end of November.
Oh, so you have time.
Yes. And then your next payment's like the end of January, and then the end of March or something is the 3rd. So it breaks it up, and then you go May 1st to 4th. Yeah. So that's on my wish list.
I like
I'm
that.
debating. We'll see.
I was thinking too small for wish list. I was thinking like yarns. If we're thinking big for wish list, then I'd like to, someone call me up and be like, hey, want to go to Rhinebeck with me? I'll pay for you. And then I'll just get on the plane and go next week.
I like that too.
Rhinebeck people, if you're listening, I'm ready.
We're throwing it out there.
I am ready.
These are the wishes. Make them come true, YouTubers.
Yes. Oh, that's too funny.
We talked about that. Well, I can talk about more requirements. So you talked about your Spincycle.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I can talk about yarn too.
Yeah, you didn't show your yarn for your turtle dove.
No, I did not. And I have other things too. So we talked last podcast about the stuff we got in Knit City, and I totally neglected to talk about this yarn. And I got more than one, but I got, all the same. So this is the Majestic Fluff from Frankie Gray Fibres. Frankie Gray, who is Jody and her daughter from Grocery Girls, and they're local to us. So they don't have a storefront. They're not in stores locally. You can order online. But I wanted to see it in person. So I was really happy that they were at Knit City, their first ever marketplace festival. And this color, it's like gray, but it's kind of got a purple-ish hue. Undertone. And it's 53% super baby alpaca, 34% silk, and 13% cashmere. So pretty. And it's 50 grams and 400 meters. This one's called Smoke Show, this colorway. But 400 meters, that's a lot. So I got 3 to go with yarn I previously had that I had ordered. This yarn from Sonder Yarn. So this is their Sunday morning 4-ply BFL and Masham. Ta-da. And the color is Whale Watching. So rusty, non-superwash, but soft.
Very.
Yeah. So to hold these two together, my plan is to make the Turtle Dove cardigan, which is a free pattern from Sonder.
I'll bring it up.
She will bring it up. What I like about the Turtle Dove, so I wear a lot of cardigans at home. I have many, many gray cardigans. I guess I'm sticking to, what I love the most in a gray theme. And I just throw them on at home as soon as I get out of bed in the morning, basically, and wear them around the house and out and whatever. Long, short, oversized. I have lots of gray cardigans. So I figured I would make myself a gray cardigan. And what I like about this one is the reinforced collar. Yeah, I love that picture. The reinforced collar on it, it's like ribbed, but then I think you do something in it to make it stand up a little more structured. And it doesn't have buttons. I don't know if there's any in there that have buttons. I think they're all.
And then look, Tracy knit one. Grocery Girls.
There you go. So yes, so that is my plan, is to hold these two together and make it nice fuzzy cardigan. I have never done that before. I've never held two things together. Like I've never held
mohair
Surrey with something. I've knit them alone.
Oh really?
Like Surrey in our tessellated. Yeah. But I've never held two together.
I have, obviously.
Obviously.
Yes.
I've never done that. So
I want this.
I like it.
I think I might.
It'll be
this.
add it to the list. It's a free pattern.
2028. Turtle
2028. Yes. By then I might knit another one. No, I don't know when this will get on my needles, but I have the yarn for it and it will be beautiful. Then after Knit City, I'll show this after. After Knit City, went home. Jody, Frankie Great Fibres, her and her daughter, had a sale on yarn. Then I ordered more yarn. So I ordered, you might need to be my hands. I have many. So,
okay. Be her hands. All right. Oh, so yes. Okay.
I got this pack was together, already like pre-selected colors.
What are you going to do with it?
I don't know. It's DK weight. It's superwash. I was thinking.
I feel like Vanna.
I know. A striped sweater of some kind, like the Frankie V.
Ooh, the Leith.
Or the Leith.
I
you have to pull those two up and we'll see. The Leith or the Frankie V.
Oh, now they're working as clickable links.
Oh, there you go.
And I have the Leith because I was going to talk about it, but then I decided not to because I was like, I'm taking up too much time on our podcast. That's okay. Look at this. Time. Okay, so the Leith is so cool. And we actually saw it on a new friend of ours that we met at Knit City. Her name is Stacy. And I was getting...
Pink and Ink Knits on Instagram.
Yes. I was getting a drink. And I looked over and she was sitting on a couch and I was like, Debbie, look at that sweater. Look at it. Look at it. I was so excited
and Debbie turns around and goes, what are you talking about? Because there's lots of people wearing sweaters.
I was like, that one. So you saw that other photo, but there is actually like so many different ways to do the stripe. So like there's even some that are more subtle. This is like tone on tone. But this was kind of how Stacy's was. All a different color mismatched, and that's what I want. And these colors would look so good in that.
It'd be cute. But bring up the Frankie V too.
Okay. Oh yes, that would also look good. Okay, hold on. Frankie
Depending if I want a cardigan or a pullover. That's really the difference. Because they're both kind of V-necked and stripy. But like these colors are not my go-to. I never knit with bright things for myself.
I'm going to bring it up.
As you can see, like jewel tones, autumn colors, wintry, wine color. Those are like my go-to colors. These are not. But I really liked them when I saw them on the website. So I ordered the pack and I thought this would be super fun in some sort of stripy something. You know. Especially when the spring hits and I want something nicer, like brighter, because I'm feeling the green and we're getting into spring and summer and I'm craving the warm weather. This would be really pretty. Or maybe when I have winter blues and I'm like, oh, I need some color in my life. Did you find it?
I did, but I'm on Instagram instead because I thought there was better pictures on Instagram. So that's it. And
the Frankie V.
Yes.
So some people knit it with like a main body color and then skinny stripes.
Yes,
some
like
do.
This.
Yeah, like that. Some will knit it in like very blocky, large stripes and just rotate the colors.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of maybe. I don't know. This will be something one day. We will see. And then I also got minis. So this was a mini set. So the minis that I got somewhat go with the bigger ones.
Oh, so you could go
I
like
could,
little stripes.
I could add little pops of the mini colors with the big ones.
It's going to be a very bright sweater. Very colorful sweater.
I might look like a clown. But
I think if you stuck with one, you would be less clown-like. Like this would look really good as a Leith or a Frankie V. And then you there's a few of those that you could put in there for sure.
These ones have sparkle.
Okay.
Like Stellina. So do I could have bright and sparkly. Like you could get a princess clown.
Unicorn?
A unicorn?
I don't know. Okay, I don't know if everybody goes, what would you be when you grow up? And they go, a princess clown. I don't think that's ever happened.
American dream.
Yes. I'm sorry. I shouldn't naysay your princess clown goals.
You
can be anything you want to be. If you want to be a princess clown, go for it.
It's almost Halloween. This won't be done by then. So
I also think as a good friend, I should be like, yes, you can be a princess clown, but you might get laughed at.
I might. The other knitters will shun me.
Can I hold these? But if you took these and you paired them with a base color,
yes,
and you did little stripes, I mean, these are really mini, you might need more than one, but that would also make a cute Frankie bee all on its own, right? Like it could, little tiny stripes.
Yes.
Like this is going to make what? 2 stripes?
It'll be 2 rows.
2 rows. Yes, but you could get another whole set in that. I think these are really great colors together is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You could also make a hat with them.
I could.
Not that you need another hat.
Well, I don't know. The eggplant hat's going
when
to
you
somebody
pulled them out, you know what I thought? Your next emotional support chicken.
Maybe. That's not enough yarn for that, I don't think.
Can you pick something to go with it? Or what, cream? A nice little cream. I almost said a bad word. Cream rooster. I shouldn't be live on video.
Read between the lines.
I think Hetty Petty needs a male in her life.
She has one. His name is Cocky Locky.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
What else do you have for us?
Well, that is all housed in this bag.
It's the best bag ever. I have one because Debbie gave it to me for my birthday.
This bag is from Sorella, and it was what were those sets? It was her book themed collection.
Yes.
And the yarn was like dyed based on book covers, and then she released this bag, and it's super cute for us reading knitters.
It is.
It's adorable.
That's all you need. Books on your. Should we segue into books?
Yeah.
We're getting
up
there. Okay. So this is not, I want to talk about this, but it is not a, obviously it's a journal. It's a journal type book. So some friends of mine took me out for my birthday dinner. It was my birthday over a month and a half ago, but we just were able to coordinate our schedules on Sunday or Saturday. And one of them gave me this book. It's called One Line a Day, and it's a journal and a 5-year memory book. And so it's so cool because you so it has the date, and then you just put the year, and then you write like one quick line. And I'm going to read to you what happened to me yesterday. I got trapped in the trailer bathroom when the freezer door got caught between 2 hooks, yelled for help for over an hour. Nobody came to rescue me. So I was my own hero, and I had to rip the door off the hinges to get out. So, in 30 years, when my grandchildren are reading about this, they can be like, but where were you, Dad? And he'll be like, well, children, I was inside watching a movie, and I just thought that Mom disappeared somewhere, and nobody came to look for me.
My problem would be, so as we get older, we get brain fog. Our memories kind of go away a little bit. So in 5 years, even a year, I would write for a year, and then next year look back a year ago. And then if it doesn't have context, if I just like write a line and there's no context, I'll be like, I have no idea what this is in relation to. Similar to when Facebook memories come up, and you're like, you remember like a decade ago when you could like,
yes,
there was no
feeling sad.
Yes.
They make me cringe.
Yes. And like that you couldn't direct message people back then when it first started. You would write directly on their wall.
Yes.
So then you see these things come up and you're like, what was this person talking about? No idea.
Fair. So my friend, actually, the reason why she's doing it with her husband as well for a few years now, but the way it started is they were visiting his sister, and there was these books out on her coffee table, and they belonged to his grandpa. And so they're reading through them and laughing their butts off. And I said, did grandpa let you read those? And she's like, no, he died. I was like, oh, but now she has them out on her table, and people come over and they read, and I think that's kind of sweet. And she said that literally it was like, bought bread today. and then like check the cows, and then one was like Sarah was born and Sarah's a child. Like it was very whatever, out of context. But I'm gonna do it and see if my grandchildren, I'm gonna put them out.
I would like you to check in and tell me if you're still doing it in like a year.
3 days?
Okay. 3 days.
I've made it 3 whole
Ambitious.
days. I'm terrible with journals, but I've already got this on my little table where I drink my coffee, and I'm really hoping that I'm better at this. Hoping.
Goals. So.
And then I have one other book. Do you have a book? Do you want to share one?
Oh, well, I have books to talk about, but not here with me. There are pictures. So you can...
Okay, well, this one, I was going through, I haven't read this, I didn't read this recently, but I did read it not that long ago, and it's called, So This Is War by Megan Quinn, and I picked this one today to share because Debbie's also read it, and Megan Quinn is like our favorite author.
She's so good.
She is so good. We stumbled upon her, we both bought a book of hers at the book corridor.
Yes.
Back in like April, I think. And I read mine right away, and I didn't even know you had bought one of hers. I had spaced on that. But I was laughing so hard, I was like crying. And so I lent Debbie the book, and I was like, you have to read it. So the book that I had originally bought was called Right Man, Right Time, or something like that. And it's a series. It's called the Vancouver Agitator series. It's a hockey team. And this is the latest release in that series. And this one also had me laughing so hard.
They all do. Laughing, so you're waking the person up next to you and trying to hold it in and doing the like thing. Shaking the bed with your laughter.
I was reading and laughing about it so hard that my kids were downstairs and they yelled, "Mom, we can't hear our movie. You're laughing too hard." I'm like, I can't help it.
So funny.
But the characters are amazing. The storyline is fun. It's a little bit romancy, so there's some of that in there. And
these are rom-com books.
They're rom-coms. And
yeah.
I find Megan Quinn just has like this way of writing that makes me, she's just really funny.
She's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually in one of those groups on Facebook that the romance book groups on Facebook, somebody posted a picture. I don't know these people. They're in the States. There's like thousands of people in these groups. But somebody posted a picture that they got to meet her. She was at something and they posted a picture with her. And they're like, she's super funny in her books, but she's just as funny in person.
I would assume so. That's so funny.
That, you know.
Goals.
I like that.
Ooh, wish list. Go to a Megan Quinn book signing.
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
I also saw that our Edmonton Library is hosting Margaret Atwood for a talk coming up. November, I think. Margaret Atwood wrote Handmaid's Tale. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of cool. Now my books were, I have pictures somewhere. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I was listening to this one.
You talked about it last time.
Mad Honey. Did I give lots of detail? Mm-hmm. I finished it. So I finished Mad Honey, finished listening to it. It is not what I expected at all. So not that it's not, it was good. But it was very heavy.
Okay.
So it talks about family dynamics, abuse, transgender struggles. Very different than what I thought it was going to be. Because I actually never read the back of the book. It was recommended somewhere on a book group or something. And I started reading it. And it's like the mom is a bee farmer and has bees, and they talk about actually the whole process of collecting honey and all these things. And I thought, I'm going to learn a lot. This is really cool. And she's a single parent, but then it takes some turns. So if you want a heavier book, nothing like a rom-com, that is a good book to check out. Then my other book, should I talk about that one? The Holidays? Are we teasing something? Yeah.
Yes, we are. We are going to be doing our very first podcasty type event. And so we want to tease this. We are calling it Knit Lovers Book Club. And more details are coming in 2 weeks at our next podcast. But we are going to let you know what book to get in case you want to add it to your Libby queue or request it through your library or whatever. Try and get your hands on a copy. We will be reading it together.
So it is called In a Holidays, Christina Lauren. Christina Lauren's 2 people.
It is 2 people. Lots of people don't know that. I do.
Christina and Lauren.
Christina and Lauren.
Yes. So it's a holiday romance, very low spice, fun, feel good type book. So yeah, that will be our first Knit Lovers book club read.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you want to join in, you can request that book on Libby or on your local library, or purchase it if you want, whatever. We're going to read it along together, and there's going to be more details coming in 2 weeks when we launch Knit Lovers Book Club. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be super fun. I listened to that one. So it was an audiobook through Libby. So you can, if you like to listen to books too, then you can do that.
I just started it. Debbie said, "Do you want to read this and tell me if we should do it for our book club?" And I said, "I trust you." And then I got it right away, and I just started it last night. And I've read lots of Christina and Lauren's books. I feel like I requested a couple of her books this summer, and I thought I hadn't read them, and then they came up when I downloaded them from Libby on my Kobo as 99% read, and I'm like, oh.
I did read this.
I did read these, yes.
What else do I have? I have to talk about... Oh yeah, I had a couple acquirements. So I had my Frankie gray yarn that I showed, and now I have this.
Oh yeah!
I never talked about this because I got it right after our last podcast. So this has a cute story. I went to a local yarn shop called Little Blue Fiber Studio. It's very close to where we live.
It's in Edmonton.
It's right by where you work. It's like so cloose. And it's the cutest little store. It's not very big. They have tables right down the middle of the store because they host Craft or Dark on Monday nights. So if you are local, check out Little Blue Fiber Studio if you want to go to a knit night on Monday nights. They host that. And you bring any fiber craft, basically. They teach classes there, felting and
kind of everything.
Knitting and crochet and like lots of things. But I bought this there. So this is a chained ball of yarn. So it's crochet chain of Briggs and Little yarn. I'm pretty sure Briggs and Little, because they sell that brand there. And it was crochet chained by the owner's Oma-in-law. So Oma had dementia, and one of the things she remembered to do, or remembered that she could do, was chain yarn. That was like her thing to do to pass the time. And so every time Oma would finish with balls of yarn, they would just give her more and she'd keep going. And they have a lot of these balls of yarn. I want to say it was about $15 to get this. And there's various colors in here that she's chained together. And they teach classes there. It's actually taught by, what is her name? Susan Chin, Knit Frog Repeat on Instagram. She's a local instructor. She's taught classes at Knit City recently. She teaches crochet, but she also teaches brioche. So Susan teaches a class there, and I will show a picture of what.
I'll take your butter.
So if you go to Knit Frog Repeat Instagram, you would see this picture. And she makes these crochet chain rope yarn bowls, and she teaches how to do that. So I haven't signed up for this class. I'm going to try and figure it out on my own, and if I can't, then
oh yeah, I can help you with that.
Yeah, then I will maybe take a class or something. This is something else that totally unrelated that Susan has made. It's called a one-legged chicken, and it's crocheted chicken.
Oh, it's cute with little squares.
Yes, it's super cute.
That's
so
adorable.
go to her Instagram, Knit Frog Repeat, and you can see some of the things that Susan does and teaches about, and et cetera, et cetera. But anyway, so I bought this because I just loved the story that it was made by Oma. Oma's now passed away, so I'm pretty sure there won't be any more of these. Once they're gone, I guess they're gone. But they had various colors.
What a great story.
It is. But it leads me to my next story. So I have more to talk about.
Dun dun dun.
I have to dig through and find all the things. So recently, my grandma passed away. And this just made me think about how culturally knitting is like passed down through generations and what people, you know, gain from their relatives and family members through the years. So we have over like 60 some. My cousin did the eulogy at the funeral and tried to add up all of the grandchildren, great-grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren. My grandma was 93 when she died. And there were a lot of us. She miscounted, like, as she's doing the eulogy, she goes, oh yeah, that baby was just born. It's 3 months old. And like added in another one. Wow. So there's a lot of us grandchildren. But this is a blanket that was gifted to me, passed on to me from my grandma's things. And then these super old patterns, which are like...
Are they from a magazine? They have numbers on them.
Yes, they're from an old magazine. They were in a box of her things. And they're just like, I will probably never knit these, but I will tell you what I'll do with them. And then some knitting needles that were hers. And again, I don't knit on straights, but I think these are just cute. And this thing that apparently my grandpa, who also passed away a number of years ago now, but my grandpa made this for my grandma, and it's just a stitch holder made out of coat hanger. So yeah,
genius.
She needed a stitch holder, so my grandpa fashioned her one out of a coat hanger because they didn't have all the fancy things like the barber cords and things like that back then, right? But I think what I'm going to do, not with this blanket, but with the patterns and the needles, I might do like a shadow box.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And then maybe knit part of one of these patterns on and leave it on the needles and then put it into the box with the pattern behind it or something like that. But these pictures like are...
my gosh. Brer Rabbit, look at this. So there is like a little tag. It says P&B Wools. I feel like my husband's grandma would know what this is.
Yes, super old, which is... Well, who knows? 93 years of her life. Who knows when it... There were lots of things that she kept. So...
We are spoiled as knitters in this day and age. Like, my husband's grandma is in her 80s, and she is always, like, just so fascinated by the fact that if I want to make something, I just look on the internet and I find the pattern. Whereas for her, she would have to buy a magazine or, like, not even single patterns. It was, like, books and magazines. That's how they got their patterns. So, and everybody kind of made the same 6 things. And yeah. That's so cute.
So then it made me remember this as well. So this stuff was from my paternal grandma, so my dad's mom. This was made by my husband's paternal grandma, so his dad's mom, and passed down. She lived and died in York, England, in Yorkshire. So it's very rustic.
It's so rustic.
But
I mean, oh yeah, it's a little itchy.
Super itchy. So this was actually knit for my husband's aunt, and they sold their house and downsized and decided to go travel and live in an RV, so they couldn't keep everything. So his aunt passed this one and a white one on to my children. They won't fit my children.
The detail on this though is insane.
The detail. Yeah. So I have knitted things from 2 paternal grandmas. So that's kind of cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah. That is... I have stuff all over your floor over here.
I know you came in. It's
like a hot mess
just
of
brought
stuff.
A suitcase.
I have a lot of stuff. But I think that's all the things to do with knitting. So now we can go on to, unless you have other things.
I know.
And we talked about books. So that we can go on to other crafts. Ooh. It's show and tell time.
I'm so excited.
So excited. I didn't bring any of my other crafts, but I brought Brandie's crafts. So in August, we went to the Edmonton Potters Guild. I'm a member there, so I got to bring friends. And I brought my daughter, and I brought Brandie, and I brought another friend of ours at different times. And they got to make things. And I picked up Brandie's projects yesterday, and she hasn't seen them yet. So excited. exciting.
I went in and glazed them, and then, yeah, they've been fired, and I'm waiting to see them, and Debbie said she was going to bring them in, and it was going to be a surprise. So you guys get to see my unregulated reaction.
Unregulated reaction.
Okay. Wow. Oh my gosh. Like, that, I made this. This is beautiful. Oh, wow. So with the glazing, it's so hard to tell what it's going to turn out like because you just don't know. Like that's like the speckling is from the heat, right? Like
yeah, that's from carbon trapping in the gas kiln. It causes the speckling in the glaze because you used like a white and it's very taupey.
Yeah, and then the inside as well. So this is a brie baker is kind of my idea, although that's going to fit a lot of cheese.
A lot of cheese, but that's okay.
It was actually bigger, and then this lovely elderly lady came and was like, "Oh, that's a really big brie baker." And I was like, "Should I make it smaller?" She's like, "Well, I mean, whatever you want to do." So I cut like half of it off.
And the clay will shrink 12 to 25% in the kiln, depending on the clay body. But it's so unless you do this all the time and you weigh your clay at the beginning and later, and it's hard to know. I've been doing this a long time, and I don't weigh things and figure it out. I just kind of go with it and see. So that's her brie baker.
I'm so excited about these. I can't even remember what color I chose for the glazing. I don't know why I'm closing my eyes. Wow. Okay, so I made a plate. Look at this. I'm so glad I decided to dip them. Holy crap, I made these.
Yeah,
they're so
really nice.
So pretty. Oh, I can't wait.
So they're rough. She'll have to sand all of the unglazed parts. So like on the lip of your brie baker and everything. Anywhere that it's unglazed, you'll want to sand and just smooth it a little bit, and then give them a wash.
So don't eat supper off them yet.
Not yet, maybe, because you can even see they have like
stuff glaze on them. Okay,
or like dust.
This is so cool. I can't believe I made these.
But they could go, they're safe to go in the dishwasher or in the oven. Yeah.
I can't wait. This is so awesome.
Thank you. Bake your brie and eat them on your plates.
This is so awesome.
Yay.
Yay. I don't want to break them. So, no, it's okay. We're going to wrap it up. But one last thing we're so excited about today because we are recording our second episode of the podcast, obviously. And also, Debbie is spearheading a local knit night.
Oh, yes. I totally forgot until right now. I joined my community league in the summer, and they didn't have a craft knit crochet night or anything. So I asked them if that's something they would like. And so now today is the first one. So we're meeting twice a month at the community hall, and it's open to any fiber crafting adults, which is super exciting. If you're local, you can come if you'd like. Feel free to follow me on Instagram, and you can get the details and stuff there. It's called Fiddlesticks.
And I made cookies for tonight to make people feel welcome.
I will eat them. And I will feel welcome.
I will feel welcome. I'm so excited. I can't wait to go tonight. It's going to be great.
It'll be great. So thanks for watching.
Yes.
Happy knitting.
We'll see you in 2 weeks.
We'll see you soon. Bye.